Okay, so here we are, notes for algebra, unit 3, lesson 4, geometry word problems. So obviously, if we're talking about word problems, the very first and most important thing that you need to do is read carefully and multiple times. If you're only ever reading a problem once, then you're setting yourself up to make mistakes because more often than not, math is turned into reading problems, and there's just lots of information that you need to read multiple times to make sure that you've got everything, to make sure you're not missing anything, and to make sure that you're answering the question. Secondly, here, these problems that we're going to look at are focused on geometry, which geometry's got formulas involved, and you have a computer that looks everything up. So you should be looking these formulas up. If you don't know what perimeter means, you should be looking that up. If you don't know how to find the area of a trapezoid, you should also be looking that up. So look up those formulas, use Google. You can use Google, you can use your notes, you can use literally any kind of resource you have to find out what those formulas are. So let's talk about some of those formulas. If we're talking about perimeter, be careful not to confuse perimeter with area. Those are two very separate things. Perimeter is talking about the outside for like a fencing or something on the outside of something. And perimeter is found by adding all the sides together. And again, when we're talking about those sides, we mean those outsides, not the inside sides if there are any. And remember, don't confuse that with area. Area is a whole different ballgame. Area is talking about that inside space. And the area formula differs based on what kind of shape you're looking at. Most shapes, most parallelograms, which are your rectangles, squares, those type of things. Parallelograms have the area formula of area equals base times height. Or you can consider that length times width. Both of those are the same formula. And then your triangle again, triangle is half of a rectangle. If I take a rectangle and cut it diagonally, that gets me a triangle. So the triangle area formula is 1/2 base times height. And then the last little thing I want to talk about, which I didn't really leave myself a lot of room to do so, but I will put this over here. What type of solutions would not make sense? When I'm talking about the area of or a perimeter or the side length of a shape, the kind of answers that aren't going to make sense are going to be those negative answers. And again, that's because we can't have a negative distance or a negative measurement. Ugh, good enough. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're reading carefully, we're looking up formulas, and we're watching out for negative answers that don't make sense.